Hello everyone. We just have Amita here with us. We are going to
Hey.
start the lines. Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
hi. Am I
Hi.
audible?
Nice to Hi everyone. Hi. We have a few others here as well. Hello everybody. So we have Amita Mishra here with us. Allow me to introduce you. First of all, welcome to BuGNaari. It's our special, special day where we interview special women across. So today we have with us holistic nutritionist and lifestyle expert, co-founder of Anushasan and two-time winner of the Global Health Champions Award, Amita Mishra. She holds a master's in food science and nutrition. She's a qualified yoga instructor, a certified sports nutritionist, and a Zumba lover. Oh my God, Amita, that's amazing.
Thank you.
That's
That's
really
very sweet of you
amazing.
for that intro. Thank you so much.
Now, a little more about her. From her office in Mumbai, she operates with a global clientele out of 20, in 20 more countries, consulting for weight loss, disease management, and lifestyle modifications. That's brilliant. That's huge. So, Amita, to ask you, your journey from, I think you were in a job earlier as a head nutritionist, and then you took the plunge into entrepreneurship and decided to change lifestyle. So what has it been like for you? Amita, you're stuck. I think the video is stuck. Yes.
Hey,
We can't see you,
one sec.
Amita. I think.
One sec. Sorry, I just got exited from the video somehow. Can you see me now?
Yes, we can see you
Oh,
now. So I was asking you your journey from you were in a
oh
job
yes.
earlier, and then yeah, you don't look very happy about it. And then you took the plunge to entrepreneurship, which is, I can imagine, a mammoth of a thing, you know. I mean, the whole bunch of security, your whole thinking changes. It's so different. And you decided to change lifestyle. So tell me something about that whole phase.
Okay, so one thing which I was very sure of was I didn't want to continue with the job. The way the fitness industry has started operating, it's more about getting more people, running discounts, offers, sales, uh, getting more and more people, and not really caring about their health. So you have like random join for 1 week weight loss programs and crazy things and detox plans happening. I was working at that point for one company which was also very sale driven, and uh, I know for a fact that I genuinely, Preeta, I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing right now. I really, and all my clients might vouch for this. I give more than the time that they require. I love to hear their stories. I love to know what's going on in their mind, their emotional state, their mental state, because that highly impacts their physical health, their diet compliance, their exercise compliance. I remember this is a story I often share is I was speaking to one of my clients one day and the call got a little longer. She was just not able to be compliant for the entire plan and she was just missing for a while. So I thought I'll just give a call, see what's happening. And she was just telling her there's been a death in the family, a very close person, and she's just going through a very depressing phase. And I was just trying to be there for her at this point. That okay, fine, we'll just try to keep it what you can follow at this point. And my boss walks in and she's like, you wasted 45 minutes wherein you could have got 5 more sales. That's exactly
My God, that's so
oh, yes. And
sad.
that's exactly the point I realized that I just don't want to do this. I cannot do this. That's where I started on my own. I left the job the next day itself that, okay, this is not what aligns with me. Because before this, I have been blessed with great mentors. This was this one experience that was very sales driven. But otherwise, apart from that, I've had great mentors genuinely interested in people's life, making it better. So that's why I wanted to start at my own. And it's been pretty good. So I started with a lot of confusion. Oh, I might not find the clients who will come to me. And so there was this one client that I started with. I would take her name. It's Amisha. I still owe a lot to her. We started on her health, great results and everything. And she's just like, you've changed my life. Why don't you come to Qatar? And she was from Qatar. My first client was from Qatar. And then she invited me there. And I'm like, no, I don't really have the means at this moment. I've just started and I just don't want to start by investing. But that night, okay, fine. Can you have more women joining in? She's like, do a workshop. You speak so well. Please come. Others will be very happy to see you. And she gathered around 15 to 18 people in her building complex. So there was this park.
Wow.
And I just decided to go there with my mother-in-law. In fact, that, okay, fine. It's an international trip for you. Let's just go. And I went there, and when I came back, all the 18 people who had attended the workshop joined my course. So, and it started with, I didn't expect it to start so well. Everyone joined. And I'm like, okay, fine. And that's what the start I was needed. And from that, it's always been good.
Destiny. I would call it complete destiny.
Yeah.
You know, you were meant to be an entrepreneur, and I think it was just a huge
And I'm
sign.
just blessed with
That's
great
amazing.
people who've showed immense faith in me, trust in me, and also helped me always find a way. So whenever I feel stuck, there are always people coming in for help. So just blessed with the right clients, right people, right time.
Really, really perfect. How long ago did you start?
It's been 8 years now.
8 years now. Okay. And so you are very vocal about how the industry operates and how it is so sales driven and stuff like that. But what exactly, keeping the fact that you have to, of course, achieve your profits and etc. and stuff like that, but what do you think the role of the fitness industry and the fitness coach should be? What should it exactly be for the client?
Okay, so
I mean, on a very practical
there's nothing wrong with making profits. That's my job as a business. So when you're doing the right thing, of course, I always tell this to my assistants also, that don't give free advices. There's no difference between you and the neighborhood auntie then who's saying ki ye bhi kha lo, iron ke liye bahut acha hai, eat palak and eat ragi. Of course, everyone has that basic information. If you've studied, if you have some sort of experience, if you've been constantly upgrading and learning, counseling, you definitely need to ask for a price. Only that makes it easier for the other person also to have that amount of trust and faith in you, and also stick to the plan. No one really values free advices. So there's nothing wrong with making profits, but the current way the fitness industry is really working is, it's their job to make profits. So today they will market this as a detox drink, or someday they will say protein is good for you, someday they'll say carbs are very good for you and protein is bad. Today you would always be confused by this. So today, just yesterday, one of my clients texted that, okay, all this while it was that don't eat rice. Now there's a recent trend on Instagram where roti is just the devil and it's the rice. And I'm like, we've already been discussing that rice is
and the
great, right?
whole wheat
And the ghee
thing.
thing and the turmeric thing. And right now they're just trying to use all these traditional Indian superfoods to market it that way. So it's always one thing after the other. There's a whole trend of veganism going in, where health is something that has to be like a sustainable journey and not like a fleeting trend. The industry will constantly offer trends, and many dietitians, for that matter, many health professionals are getting kind of carried away by this. Wherein, if you see the plan, I have clients coming to me with, "Oh, I followed this plan." It won't mention, Tulsi chai. It would mention a particular brand's Tulsi chai. It would mention a particular brand's sugar-free oats. It would mention a particular brand's olive oil, or a sugar-free, gluten-free pasta of certain brand. So it's mostly they are the ones making profit out of you. We are kind of turning a fool of ourselves, and also making it very confusing for our clients. So as dietitians, our job has to give health advices that they can sustain, where they feel that they can be compliant to this and not really distract them and have more restrictions
Yeah,
on them. Right,
experiment on them. Correct, for
right.
sure. Yeah. So it's, I mean, fad diets, like, have you seen it? Like, I mean, what is your thought on them? I know it's all chaotic, but you have to deal with it in a
And
daily
every day
life.
is
I'm sure you
new
must be
one. Even I
bounced
am
off
unable
fad
to catch up
diets.
with all the fads and the trends. There's so much uh,
Yeah.
in between. And the worst one was this paleo trend. especially for someone living in India where, okay, things are already very unhygienic and you all are just going on kacha vegetables and everything kacha and eating the way our ancestors did that. Oh, Amita, you to support how our ancestors did. But we also went through evolution. Why are you going back? They were also hunting. You're going for a job. You have a very different life. So
Yeah, that's right.
don't take this.
We sit down most of the time.
Yeah, and so many. There's no end to it, and there are bizarre things. The ones who are getting the most affected by this is our teenagers. Oh God, they would try random recipes. I have this client who's suffering from an eating disorder. So it took her time to understand that this is an eating disorder. There's an immense obsession with food. She would feel very guilty about not following the plan and solid body image issues where you constantly look at yourself from how your body looks.
Are you able to identify such issues instantly?
Yes,
Or does it
yes.
take you some
There's a
time
no,
for
not
counseling?
instantly. There's a process of counseling. There's therapy. We talk about it. We let the people talk. Most people don't even identify they have eating disorders. So there's a difference between I constantly keep telling this. A lot of people feel I have an eating disorder. What most of us have is disordered eating. Our eating pattern has
Okay.
become disordered because we're constantly contemplating rights and wrong and sugar-free, low-free, carb, low-carb, high protein, and very obsessed to the point that some people even fear going out for an event or a social gathering. I will be differing from my diet. I will be cheating on my diet. Technically, there's no such thing as cheating. Your relationship with food is like how you have it with your partner. So if I really love my partner, just because I've gone out and met my friends or if I've met my colleague, I am not technically cheating on him. To have
Yeah.
diversity or to have someone else, every food will have
So well
yeah,
explained.
so every food will have a different role in your life. So sometimes if you're
Cool.
going out for a social gathering, you're eating for pleasure. You're eating for a social well-being. You're eating for
Correct.
having a good time. Not everything is nutrition. So that we need to understand through talking. There are people. I have this one client just the last week. Again, in her 20s, every time that she would go out and eat, she would come back, have lots of water, and try to puke it out so that this doesn't add
Yes.
calorie. Or a very common
And
trend of the next day, people asking, "Oh, I have an outing today. Can I do a detox tomorrow?" You can't really compensate in terms of food that way. That okay, fine. If you've just cheated, I can't be showering like how these men do. Na? If you've cheated on your wife, shower your wife with gifts and
love.
travels and everything. That's not how you compensate.
Yeah, it's a daily process.
It is. It is. So it has to be a very faithful relationship, which is also flexible. If it is too rigid, it is going to fall apart. That's why we start with a
It's
plan.
gonna.
Every new year, I have new clients joining in, and then by the end of March,
Oh,
they've like can't comply to it because it wasn't really. It was a one night stand. Wasn't again a lasting relationship with
yeah,
food.
true.
It's something you really learn. That's the reason why in our entire program we believe in a lot of counseling and coaching. It is not just about you try doing, I mean, just blindly follow something out of a piece of paper that I have to eat this way. Why are you doing this? What does it do to you?
Yeah.
A simple thing like a simple dal chawal can mean very different to you versus how it can mean to me. I've grown up eating this. I may like this. You are a North Indian. You've grown up eating parathas. Dal rice just doesn't seem right to you. So it can
True.
mean differently to two different people. So you really need to understand and make it more customized for them so that they can actually survive and sustain on this.
True. And now you I mean, you are, of course, a functional expert at your field. I'm sure you're leading a team of people now, your own team of people, you're running your business. How do you balance between the two? I'm sure there are days you have to take care of your accounts and your taxes and the whole deal and your legalities versus, it can really split your mind into two different directions.
Oh my God,
So,
this is,
how do you handle that?
I don't know how do I handle this. I still don't know how I'm balancing. Uh, I've even communicated this very clearly with my team that this is what I'm good at. I love uh, talking to people. I love knowing their stories. I love coaching. I love counseling. And there are areas where I really struggle. So earlier, it would be very overwhelming for me to, try to balance everything. I was all over the place. With the onset of like during the COVID time and social media kind of peaked to figure out social
Yeah.
media. Then you have content. So my job is, though I love creating content, but
But it's a
content creation isn't,
whole different
content creation
job.
isn't my job really. My job is being a nutritionist, being a health coach. So that's another job that you have taken up. So there's content creation, there's editing. Earlier, I would edit my videos, I would post them, I would engage on them, I would interact with people, I would then take care of the business angle of it, your website, there's marketing, there's taxing, there's content again in terms of blogs and articles and videos. I was turning a maniac trying to do everything. Also, I was having a tough time delegating at that point. So now when you ask me how do I manage, over the years I've kind of learned how to prioritize and how to delegate. One thing that is solid pain of help is motherhood, where it teaches you first to delegate. That you have to let go of things.
Yeah.
You can't really hold on to everything, because then you start bleeding your wounds on everyone. Because if you've been operating from pain point, that shows in your work. So now I do take breaks, and I post about them online and be very vocal about taking time off social media, taking time off creating content, or uh, upgrading my skills, learning new things. So I would stop. I have huge help from my team members, my husband, my family. So everyone's involved now. So I've kind of learned to delegate and also prioritize. A part of me still is not very happy with the delegating part, because I want to control everything. Oh, this is not how I want it to be.
I know.
I had
I
a
completely
phase
get you,
wherein
but I think,
I had
I
a
think
phase wherein team members
delegating
were
is
writing
one of the
articles.
biggest skills of an entrepreneur.
Oh, yes. And see, it's also, I am not selling any product. My the entire thing is me. My ideology of how I look at health. How can I help? So for me, that has to translate in my work. So earlier, when I had someone trying to do content for me, I did 2 weeks, and I'm like, no, boss, I can't do this. I can't really be posting a superfood every day when it doesn't align. So just because I have the need to post it on social media, I can't be doing anything. I can't be writing articles on how to lose fat effectively in 7 days. I know it's bullshit. It doesn't work this way. I would have written it very differently. So sometimes, then I thought, okay, fine. I am not going to do this on a frequent basis. I would do it as it comes. So a big part of my work is my instinct. I feel up for it, I do it. I feel no, it doesn't go.
You
And
don't
that's the reason why
do
social
it.
media also feels very personal. I like interacting with everyone myself. I might take sometimes weeks to interact, but that's the pace I'm right now enjoying.
Very nice. And how do you make time? I mean, like being a digital company, and we see content creators every day, but someone so personalized like you would have to do things yourself rather than just hire someone to do it. So how do you manage to take time out for that?
Uh,
Like, do you sit? Is it as and when something comes to you, you write it down and then you post it, or do you take
I
schedule time out?
have to get better. I won't lie. I have to get better at scheduling though. But right now, it's not something that's coming naturally to me. I have tough
Okay.
time. But for example, I've had a day of consults, and there were these burning issues wherein, for example, someone asked me about postpartum, or about their about child's health, of how whether chocolates are healthy or not. I feel okay, this is something everyone needs to know, and I would just create a video of it rather than thinking
Oh,
10 topics out of nowhere to post, or just because it's a trend, I have to answer these questions. They're very personalized, coming from my own experiences. If you've gone through my entire social media, it's very personalized now. If I'm working out, I would just record a video. If I have a message to send, I would just record that. Sometimes very poorly edited, but it's very raw and real. Exactly what I wanted to
true.
post it out, rather than making it very gimmicky and enroll now for a plan. No, it's nothing of that sort. It comes to me naturally. It's very personal. So a very peaceful phase again, wherein I would post what I would like to post. I would create what just comes naturally to me. Then I don't have to think in by heart lines and write script. I just turn on my
Yeah.
camera, I record, I turn
And
it down, I just apply captions, I post. That's basically my posting or my content style.
That's so lovely. That's so really nice to hear. So coming to postpartum, you have a daughter. You have a daughter, a young
Yeah.
toddler, right? And I'm sure you worked right through all that phase. So how did you deal with pregnancy and delivery and motherhood and work-life balance while, I mean, you're an independent counselor. So how did you deal with the whole
So it's
situation?
basically again juggling a lot of things and sometimes quite simultaneously. Uh, Pregnancy still, and I would say this to all if any woman is watching this, pregnancy in fact is the most coolest phase of your life. Never get scared of pregnancy. You have a lot of people like even if I'm standing, there'll be two people like, ah, bed jao. What do you want to eat?
Yeah,
So
I know.
there's too much probably information, awareness, support in terms of pregnancy. What we are not really prepared for is postpartum. The moment you've delivered a baby, the entire attention goes to that baby, even yours for that matter. Everything goes to that baby. उसको ठंड तो नहीं लग रही, उसने खाया कि नहीं. But what you don't realize is even you are born as a mother now. You have no idea how to feed this baby. You have no idea how to do natural gender. So no matter how many videos, tutorials, and classes you've taken, it's your first-hand experience in handling a life, which is very different from probably what you've
Yeah.
studied. There are growth spurts, there are rejection in terms of feeding, there's nipple soreness, there is nighttime feeding, there's the baby. Do you have a baby, by the way?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But
So,
I've seen my sister through it, and I've been like horrified by the
yes, yes.
like I
So,
was like, oh my god, how is she dealing with
and
this?
for me, I was
You know,
very prepared.
she was healing.
I kept telling my
Yeah, she
husband that,
was healing in those 15 days, and she had to ignore herself and get up every time he was crying, and I was like, oh my god.
yeah,
So
it's
it was
also
like,
you don't sleep. You don't, I mean, you wake up multiple times in the night probably to feed babies. The only job they have is, so though how glamorous they want to show it to you on social media, the only job that the babies have is pooping and eating.
eat and
That's technically what they
yeah,
do. Every 2 hours they're
and
hungry
sleeping.
and then they poop. And every 2 hours you're feeding
Correct.
for 30 minutes and then this person will latch and is just tired and sleepy. The moment you keep them, again a susu happens, you have to change. So basically, you are only catering to susu, potty, and feeding. That's one thing. So you're not sleeping well. I couldn't keep my hairs open because of course it will affect the baby. I couldn't wear dresses because of course I was feeding. So you don't dress the way you like. You don't wear things you like. You're not eating foods you like because of course it will affect the baby. So I'm a spice eater. I can't do it at that point. And you don't really you're not social. The longest conversation you can have with someone is like hardly 5 minutes. Someone calls you and like the baby just starts crying at that instinct. So you don't have a social life, you don't have a personal life, you don't even talk to your own partner for weeks. So it's a
I know.
very isolating state for you. So of course it comes with its own perks. When the baby smiles with you and that thing of just giving it back.
No, this
That's
is this is one side of it where you're talking of the work involved with the baby. But what always has struck me is that the mother has just sent out a baby from her body. Her body is changing shape, like it's literally coming back to another form altogether. And how are you working right
uh,
through it? Like
So
it's
for
amazing.
2 months, so when I delivered the baby, it was a luckily a normal delivery for me. I was shivering for the first 1 hour, and it was not just like a normal shivering. It's like you're really shaking. No one talks about the first walk after delivering. You just can't stand. Even going to the washroom feels like I cannot do this. Your entire hopes are crushed. What's happening to you? Uh,
My
I started feeling better in the next 2 hours, wherein because for me, luckily I enjoy my work so much. I was so happy and I shared this with my entire world and with my clients because I thought I had to update. This is my current scenario. In fact, I was working all 9 months. The night I got my um I started getting my labor pain. I knew it. I have to go
pains.
and deliver tomorrow. So at night 1:30, I messaged my assistant that okay, fine, probably tomorrow I'll be hospitalized, and these are the clients that you have to take care of. Their diets has to go. I've already planned and kept. So I was very prepared for it. I was also prepared for what's coming for the next few days. So I've sorted in terms of my work. The next few months, 1 or 2 months, because I had a lot of support again. I had to only rest. And the baby would sleep, I would work. So I was in a good state, except for the night part of it. I was really enjoying. But what I didn't realize was first 5 months, 6 months when the baby starts getting active. I took a lot of clients at that point because I was in a very good state. For the first 40 days, of course, you have the best food and everything. After this, it started to get very overwhelming. Uh, I would I would just start crying for no reason. I would have a tough time
Oh,
myself because, of course, I am in the health industry wherein I am practicing. I mean, I am preaching something or work out or do something, and you're not getting to do this on your own. So I am doing consults back to back, do this, do that, and you would feel very sorry for yourself for actually not listening to your own advice because if you are someone who has a lot of information, that information can sometimes turn against you. So I would feel very low for not doing things. I would. So most female, for most mothers for that matter, they just 2 months after delivering or 3 months after delivering, they would always want to go back to their pre-pregnancy weight, which now after doing psychology, I have understood is it's not the way that you want to go back to. It's the person you were that you want to go back to, who had time to
that's
eat,
very
who had
true.
you just start missing yourself so much. So you thought कि सबसे easiest क्या होएगा? Probably it's just changing the way you look. But it's not really that. The whole postpartum depression phase made me realize I have to do something in terms of mental health. So I started taking up a course in, now. I'm out of that phase now. So and postpartum depression again, it's not something that you experience right after delivery. For some people, it may start at 3 months postpartum. For some people, it may start at 6 months postpartum. For some people, it may start at 5 years postpartum. For some
Oh,
people, probably they are still in their postpartum because they've still not found that person they were. They just lost themselves. Postpartum depression is like need of a part of you is missing. Like I said, there are things that make you you, the food you eat, the people you are with, the things you like. So when I'm dancing, I feel like myself. When I'm working, I feel like myself. But when you take these aspects of your life away, you just you don't know what is exactly that you want to do. You just start missing yourself. There you have this feeling that there's something missing in your life. For some people, for
true.
some women, unfortunately, till date, they're missing themselves. So you will see aunties in their 50s and 40s, जिनके बच्चे कहते रहेंगे कि mom is very चिड़चिड़ी, she's always fighting, she's always irritated, she's always lashing back. It's because even she hasn't recovered from that phase yet. She hasn't really found herself back. So it can be a lingering phase for a lot of people. And that's, I felt it the most, in fact, post 1 year, or once my baby turned 1 year, I had the most depressing phase 1 year to 2 year. Now that I'm out, once I
For the whole
realized
year.
I studied, I read, I wanted to know what's happening to me, though I was consulting and everything. When you face it, you realize, okay, this is something missing. And that's where I started researching. And then I took up a course in mental health. And that's what I integrated with my practice that, okay, fine. If your mental health impacting your physical, we need to take care of that first. And now a big part of my
I think
practice
that's
has
a
changed
great
because of this.
combination to
Hmm.
have. I mean, a nutritionist who is a mental health, because we all know that it is connected today. I mean, it is what is happening in our daily lives that is causing the stress to our body, and it is actually resulting in our nutritional
Exactly.
choices or our
There's no
lifestyle.
point running in direction. I mean, you don't have to change things that were not a problem in the first place. So if I have a Gujarati client who's living in a joint family, who has no time for herself, who has to cook 6 times a day, in different manner, she's not eating the way she likes. And if I, as a dietitian, tax her with a diet plan of 10 different things to do, she will take this as an added failure on herself कि पहले ही कुछ नहीं कर पा रही थी. Now I've paid this person, I'm still not losing weight. So this, you're feeling that client feel even more worse about herself. So you're not really improving her
True.
health, you're damaging it even more. So the problem wasn't really food. We could have taken control of other aspects. Probably helped her in terms of managing, decluttering, having a lifestyle, habit building, habit coaching, mindset practice. And then with whatever meals that she's doing, if we can improve, okay, fine, add vegetables, intake of a fruit in between. If you're giving so much to others, kind of refuel it. That behavioral coaching, but just changing roti to thepla to millet to paratha is not how we can change health in general.
Health for you. True. Now these lifestyle I saw a video where your daughter was imitating you doing, I think, a back bend or something. It was so cute, and I was so fascinated. So, do your kids or their friends are they? Like, I mean, do they notice what you're
Oh,
doing?
my
Is it affecting
daughter's
them?
a big fan of me. So how in a toddler house, parents would like to earlier we would like to flaunt our kids ki oh she can sing a nursery rhyme, she can dance. My daughter does that to me. Like, Mama, do that asan, no? Do this, no? I can also do this now. So she makes me do weird things in front of her friends. The other day there was yoga day in her school. So though she's going through a tough phase, going to school in general, she's just started. But she was so excited that आप उनको सिखा देना हाँ कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं है so she was so proud and confident and even when there are friends she's like can you make this for them or when I'm recording videos when I'm doing exercises there are certain exercises that really she just starts laughing when she sees me do that so there's a lion pose where you just make a face of a lion and she would just roll out into laughter this I again realized after a long period that I was missing this about myself so I would out of guilt, I would not go to gym that, okay, I'm already in my consults and meeting people and not giving her enough time. So I would just skip gym. But then now that 1 hour of workouts, Preeta, is like a very engaging time for both of us. She looks up to it. I look up to it. We put music. I sometimes pick her up. I do my squats. I would just swirl around. We would run. We would do frog jumps, random things, and she enjoys. I enjoy. And now just randomly she would be watching TV and she would just go into a downward dog. Mast kiya na maine. And she just feels so proud. So that's how I guess
So
we are
cute.
also impacting them. And it's not like I never look in the mirror and say, oh, I have to lose this. I have to start doing this. Never we do use words like this. So for them, that's what the message in the video also was that for kids, workout has to be fun. It's something you do as a lifestyle. Like I have seen my Dadaji or great Dadaji, he's almost 80 now he still has a very solid routine. And again, he never did this for losing weight. It was a part of the routine. I had my great
But
grandmother, very active. Uh, in our native, we have something called as an angan, the backyard and the courtyard. And she would sweep it every day. She had a very active lifestyle. She had fallen and she had a hip fracture. She was bedridden for the 2 years of her life just before she passed away even at that time she would want to be useful. She would say, "Ki sabzi de do," I would at